brand new show, and we are joined with Brenda and the wonderful Suzy, and we have a guest stalker in here that I kept behind the stage, so I'm going to bring him out. We're going to have Brenda keep him under control. He could be a serial killer. We're not exactly sure, so I don't have a theme song for you guys yet, and that was one of my projects, but I was kind of busy rearranging backgrounds, text, and fonts, so I didn't have time to get all the things I wanted done for you young ladies there and Creepy Doll. So
Creepy Doll.
Creepy Doll. I love it. So Brenda, this is your show. I am going to step away and let you handle it and mute my mic, and y'all just yell at me when you need. Well, I'm not going to leave. No, but
no, I want you to know that you didn't send me the team, so I don't know how much I'll be able to do as far as sharing or anything. So,
well, I can still fix that. So we can still make this up as we go. It's the same. It's the same because you're part of the team.
Nope, I came in as
No. The link I sent to everybody was the guest link, but the team is always the same. It's never different.
Well, yeah, that's not what I got. So I have no idea.
And we also have the wonderful faux shizzle Bobby Drizzle. I mean Dizzle. So
Dizzle be zizzle. Well, do you want me to try to do that, or do you just want to, when I'm ready to share that video, go ahead and pull you in?
Why don't you hop out and try and join back in, and that way, because since you already know what you're doing, because short of erasing my text and fonts and things, I mean, you know what you're doing. So
okay, I'm trying to remember where you.
That reminded me. I was supposed to change it to your Gmail. Yeah, I was supposed to change that too. I was remembering I was trying to change the picture and the backdrop. So hopefully your fans will have patience with a bipolar producer here.
This is like mommy and daddy fighting at the dinner table.
I'll be right back.
That's right. And I have no idea who's in the chat. So Suzy, how's your week been?
Good. It's been good. Good weather.
You're in Texas. Isn't the weather always pretty good down there?
It's been raining a lot.
Yeah, well, y'all did have some severe storms. That's right. So
it just rained every day, and then it not rain for a few days, and then rain for a whole week, and then it just kept doing that, So it's like, is it ever going to stop raining? I got a fortune cookie the other day, and it said it won't always be raining,
You're not building an ark yet, though, right? So
not yet. Yeah,
not yet.
Thinking about it.
My last job was so bad that our big boss would come by and tell us it don't rain every day. I'm like, it's like his slogan. Like, thanks, man. That keeps keeps the revolver out of my mouth just a little.
It leaves you hanging. Well, so did you get any prospects on your house?
Not yet. It's only been on the market 5 or 6 days, so it's just got on.
It's a hot market though, so
yeah. There's been some one person asking, from what I understand so far. So.
Cool. Well, wish you luck. You'll be closer to me.
It only takes one buyer, right?
True. Yeah, you'll be closer to me, so you can teach me how to ride a horse. So
there you go.
Yeah, I just want. My only request is I want the old one that doesn't bite people. So
there you go. One that's slow and go.
Exactly. Very, very slow. Bobby, could you ride a horse?
I have before, yeah.
Well, I have too, but I was never good at it.
So apparently when you end a show and I have that invite, it says it's already been used, so it doesn't allow me. So anytime we switch shows, we got to send it again.
We'll say I go. Well, I mean, we'll talk about this off the air, but
it'll be all right. Okay. Are we ready?
It is your show.
Fire away.
All right.
I'm going to mute the mic, and you can mute Shelton too if you need to. And Bobby down there, he's a serial killer too, I think so.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll get some
he probably kills the bowls of cereal, right?
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, tonight the show that we have for you is unusual. It's crime, but it's strange. We are dealing with a cult in East Texas, and it is a very unusual cult. We have a woman. Well, she looks like a woman, but claims that she is what they call a walk-in. And if you don't know what that is, well, you're fixing to find out. So, Suzy, do you want to explain a little bit more about her cult and what it is that she does?
Do you think? Well, I think it would be good if you could let that video play where she explains,
okay,
and then we'll talk about what she says.
Yep. Okay, we can do that. So I'm going to go in here and set that up. You guys have a good time chatting because it'll take me just a minute.
She'll get the hang of it.
Only takes a minute now. Come on.
Just a minute.
Well, what's funny is I can't even do that on my end, and I don't understand why.
I can't. I'm not able to focus on anything else but showing this whole time. I gotta stop. I can't look at him in the eyes.
You're still dreaming of me?
It's a
Suzy, Suzy, I'm not quite sure if you're familiar with the situation.
You guys looking in the eye.
But Bobby and Shelton kind of have a relationship.
Oh my God. All right.
He likes it.
Who's Bob and who's Shelton?
Bobby, the one and only Bobby Dizzle down there. You ready for me to show it, Brenda?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, it just popped up. Tell me when.
All right.
All right, there we go.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to go unmute her. Whoops.
I've seen this before. Holy shit.
You have?
Yes. I've seen that one. Oh my God.
I had not seen it till I guess last week, and her voice scares the heck out of me.
It's not a her voice; it's a he voice.
Well, I'm using the appropriate.
It's a her body, but a he voice.
I was gonna say I was using an appropriate pronoun, but I don't know if I am or not. But yeah, it's
I'm gonna cancel
scary.
you.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody somewhere has at Sportcat me. So
the walk-in that's in the body will explain it on this video. What?
Yeah.
The deal is.
Whenever you're ready, there, Miss Brenda Lee.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, it's up on the screen. We're waiting on you to press play.
Yet. It's frozen or something.
All right, hang on.
I hope everyone understands this is our second show, so we're still working out the bugs.
Why
and,
is
still learning these
working?
things?
All right.
Hey, at least you got it up there. That's a start.
Yeah. She figured that out, and I haven't even figured that out on my end. So, of course, then again,
this cult is in Marietta, Texas, East Texas. So, and what I heard is they actually have thousands of acres there at this place, but I don't know that for sure. I mean, I haven't been able to verify that, but that's what I've been told.
Do they have lots of members? Do you know?
I heard they have 14,000, but they're looking for 144,000.
Yeah, I'd heard that number, but I didn't know if they already had a bunch of people. Now, do they live on that property?
A lot of them do, I think, is what I've been told.
Wow.
Yeah, and they own a restaurant in Marietta also. So,
is it one of those deals in a lot of small towns where they run the town?
It's a really small town. There's just not much there. There's a restaurant and like a post office and a couple. I don't really know. It's a pretty small town.
Pretty small.
Are you ready?
Oh, whenever you
tell
me.
Ready.
You ready
Waiting
for
on
me
you.
to...
Do you see it?
Yep.
Yep.
I'll be explaining my experience as a walk-in. I had to meet with the darkest, densest aspect when I first walked in, and that was scary as fuck. The fractal of Linda left and went back to source, never to be again. I don't have a present. You guys have a present life. So how long have I been in Linda's vessel? I walked into this vessel April 25th, 2014. There's only 5 walk-ins that have occurred, and 2 of them have short-circuited. That's why there's very few actual walk-ins. It's just too detrimental to the consciousness. So for 9 months, my vessel was prepared for the walk-in. Did my vessel fully comprehend? Absolutely not. And it was designed that way. The rape my vessel went through, in your human terms, it's a violation of the body. And the rape was the start of preparing the vessel for the walk-in experience. And I'm aware of that. Did my voice change? Yes. Did the fractal of Linda leave? Yes. Just because I'm a walk-in doesn't mean I'm special. It took 3 times for my consciousness to walk into my vessel, and I went through extreme pain. There's pictures in a folder on my Facebook wall of blisters this big. I tried to walk in at a 12th dimensional frequency, and we had to lower it down to a 7th dimensional frequency. Now, if all of you guys were to disappear into light, you guys would freak the shit out of each other. You guys would be driving around down the road, and people see ghosts in wrecked cars. For me, I have a planetary consciousness of 12 great grand central suns, 5 of which have been blown up. In that moment, humanity was annihilated. For me, I can spot anything. See, I can disappear. Let me see if I can change the angle of this and show you guys what I mean. Mariana, I know you're listening. Can you come help me for a moment? Can you see that? Can you see the blue outline here? You guys are blue beans. I don't know if you could see it. The DNA within the vessel of Linda holds the DNA of the very first atom of DNA that made the very first DNA strand. And I know to you starseeds that it's exciting. I understand how cool it sounds. There is only your Akashic records because you were moved into not just a different broadband frequency, but you were taken through a wormhole that was not expected. Well, I can guarantee you, if there's scientific proof that says this is true, there's scientific proof that will say that is not true. Again, duality. And that's how you guys get trapped. Outside of the limitation, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which is the story you guys are living. And so for me, my battle has been with humans, because humans cannot accept anything except what they see. The only difference is you're coming from this and we're coming from here. I hope I make sense. Absolutely use discernment. I'm not asking you to believe me at all. I don't care one way or the other. So when I say I'm coming in as a personification, I'm coming in specifically to untangle information. There's a third of the population that has avatar robot bodies. Your guys' moon is an artificial construct. Validate anything I say within, and you'll find out that I'm accurate.
That's true.
I'm not saying that I'm right, wrong, true, or untrue. You'll find I am accurate. Just out of the blue, something started to occur to my vessel. Outside of these skin suits, there used to only be one language. Pluto, which stands and represents for peace, love, unity, truth, and oneness. That's what Pluto stands for outside of your human realms. You have no wisdom about it, so shut the fuck up. Not even your intuitions are correct until you're fully aligned. You are the dark that I am battling. To you guys, this is a problem. For me, this is the greatest miracle that was ever created. This is Tesla technology. I'm battling dark within every single one I come across because, well, you can't be a galactic commander because look at your body. You can't be that. Go smoke some more packs of cigarettes because your voice is masculine. You know how many people tell me that I can't be an ascended being because I don't live in a mansion and show my riches? You're a demon, Linda. That's false light, Linda. And it's like, okay, we just put on skin suits and cloaks ourselves because you guys judge us so bad. Feel free to leave if you guys don't resonate. But even resonation is your own separation because you attach emotion to information. And when you look, for me, it's destructive watching y'all. It's heart-wrenching. The focus of how you all get distracted, if you will, right? Is that you make it about people. That's literally what you have to do, is tell your mind to shut up, because your mind is information that attaches to out here. So you have to be the one to tell your mind to shut the fuck up. Tell this to shut up. This is always going to make you choose. But the second you get butthurt, the second you can't see the reflection, the second that you get defensive or offensive is the second you missed your lesson, your initiation, and you're going to lose. You guys couldn't handle it if we took off these cloaks of skin and showed you disclosure. And as you go walk through your frequency stair steps, and you learn how to feel all over again, because you really don't know how to feel. You guys know how to be emotional. Disclosure is already here. It's just we have to cloak ourselves in skin suits. You know, people have come to my house. 95% of them have demonized me. You know, you might hate me this year, but, you know, in 5 years, you might be back saying, Linda, I'm so sorry. I see it all the time. To you guys, you want to leave form. You guys want to be ascended. You just want to go back to being light and love and this, that, and the other. However, there's no life or living in that. The crystallining diamondizing process is going to be complete for all of you. Spring of 2023, the spring equinox. So for me, I'm constantly in a battle of different fragments because I'm trying to put a cosmic egg back together that's been shattered. And as you guys wake up, from my angle of perspective, as you guys wake up and you anchor your light into the electromagnetic grid, it lights up more entanglement of the web that I can untangle, if you will. So now back to my walk-in experience. It was the most incredible, beautiful experience. For me, coming into a human form, I drive a starship. If you drive, try driving a car in a human world when you're used to driving a starship that has everything in front of you. You mean I have to try and drive on this? It is much more fun, but first you have to recognize the Matrix programming so you guys can truly return to a place of fun. I hope that makes sense. Have a great day, guys. So much love and blessings. Bye-bye now.
Okay. So, Bobby, any thoughts?
Wow. A lot of menthols.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
That woman was crazy.
Now, I will tell you this. There is a bigger story behind the whole thing.
I imagine so. Good Lord.
Yes.
Train wreck
A
city.
lot of things that she discusses in other videos that she has made. She, number one, goes by the name of Ra, who biblical and all of that, Egyptian for, isn't it the sun god? Suzy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that, she also, in that town, there's been a lot of strange things going on. And there's been over 100 people missing in the surrounding counties without any clue. Just walk out the door, gone. She wants to collect 144,000 people to follow her cult, which is also a biblical number. And my thought is, boy, I want to know what she means about the fall of 2023.
What's already happened? Nothing
So
happened.
what is it that she was talking about? Do you know, Suzy?
No, I don't know what she meant by the
Mhm.
thing of 2023. I know that it's not a her, it's a he inside of a her. So that's the confusing part.
Right.
That's probably I should kind of explain a little bit what a walk-in is.
Yes.
Because I was saying to you earlier that about 98%, 99% of them or understand the term walk-in. They understand demon possession, where they know that demons share the body. But she doesn't refer to it as a body. She refers to it as a vessel.
Right.
Like you would talk about your car or your boat or your something that you're driving. So and Michael Aquino, who was the head of who said he was the entity called Set, which was was a descendant from Ra. So these are entities that are ancient, that they're saying that they're ancient deities who they can't be born in a body, so they have to walk into one in order to own one, to possess one. And it's a lot more than possession, because now they wait for the person to die, to actually that soul to actually leave the body completely, and then they have full control of their body now. Now, this being said, that there's only 5 of them, but there's more than 5. Okay, there's a lot more. I had a incident, here in this vicinity where this being is, where a 5-year-old child, said they were a walk-in. 5-year-old said that they died when they were 3, and now they're a walk-in, and a 5-year-old. And Michael Aquino said that he walked into a baby, when he wasn't born of a natural birth from a woman, he just took over a body. Okay.
Wow.
That was already there. So, they can walk in from baby to adult. I think it's a little harder for them to get into an adult. And that's what maybe this one is alluding to, that it was only 5 actual adult walk-ins, where it's much easier for them to take over and walk into a baby. But it's harder for them because then they don't have their memory. So say this being has full memory because it's an adult, it goes into an adult. Where when they go into a baby, they lose that memory. That's what Michael Aquino had mentioned also. So they lose a lot of that memory, So now I met a girl named Jen Parks, who we let her stay with us. And this is where I learned about walk-ins. And she was sitting on the couch, and she said to me one day, she goes, don't tell Penny, but I'm a walk-in, because she wouldn't understand. But of course, Penny would understand. But, Penny's my sister, in case anybody doesn't know. But, and then she went on to tell me that Jen Parks, the body, or the girl that was talking to me, she said Jen Parks died of an overdose in Mexico, and she lost her kids. And I made a deal with her, and that I would walk in, take her body, and then I would get her kids back. But I'm really Jane Mansfield. That's what she told me. So
and then with the 5-year-old now, Bobby, supposedly at 3, the 5-year-old drowned in the tub, and that's how the walk-in got the 5-year-old. So
that's what the 5-year-olds. Yeah.
right.
Isn't
So
that crazy.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a question on this. So the walk-in, are we? Because if I heard correctly, she said she was the Galactic Commander.
Yes.
Are these aliens? Are these something else?
You can call them alien. I mean, they're not born like we are. Human. They don't have a human experience like the birth and, entry that we have. They enter in by taking over somebody else's body.
now you can also look at it.
Kind of, not really, but kind of like zombies. Like, the Walking Dead, the person dies and then there's this monster that takes over and wants to eat everybody,
and I think one of the ways that we were looking at it was that Suzy had gone in and thought about this, and there is such thing as fallen angels. Anybody who knows anything about the Bible, Book of Revelations, all that. So I think Suzy had pinpointed it actually to being a fallen angel, because they were given one of two choices when they were fallen by God. And what were those choices, Suzy?
Yeah, that was all in the book of Enoch. It explains. Okay, so that one explains that there was a Luciferian war. It was called, some people, Christians, kind of heard vaguely that there was this war in heaven, and Michael and his angels fought. This is the war I'm talking about. But it when I mean heavens, it means in the spiritual realm. But it actually happened in the physical realm, because in the Bible in Genesis 6 it says that the sons of God came down, and then they actually interbred and with humans. So they were having hybrids, and this created this war. And during that war, they were given the opportunity to either be born human, to come in a human body, or fight, and then they would lose. And so that's what they did. A lot of them ended up getting slain, and they became bodiless spirits, or wandering spirits, or ghosts, or there's all kinds of words you could pull out of the dictionaries to describe these things. And then those beings seek after a human body. So this is how they end up either possessing bodies, and people say, hey, he's demon possessed, or they end up being walk-ins where they own the body completely and they don't share it anymore.
Right. So now, as far as the cult is concerned, there is a lot of different things with this woman. Number one, if you join her, it sounds to me, the things I was listening to, that you basically sign over all your money, your worldly possessions to them, which that's a normal cult thing. Okay. Then also, if you are married, you are to separate or divorce from your spouse. And if you have children, you have to get rid of them. They don't want any children. So what's your thoughts on that, guys? Bobby, Glenn?
They're all stumped.
I think Bobby's mic's muted.
Elizabeth?
Hey, why don't you
I'm
talk
about to
about
fall asleep
why don't
over
you talk about her husband and mention her husband, the story of her husband?
Yeah. Apparently her husband was put in prison, and he was put in prison for pedophilia or
Pornography, child pornography.
Child pornography, yes. And then, so this person says that when he gets out of prison, that she wants him back because she loves him. So in one aspect, it is it a guy that's in her? Is her husband or his husband that's in jail? Is he a walk-in too?
Or is he a female?
Yeah. Or is he might be a female.
The
But
whole situation is confusing.
How much would it suck to be a walk-in and still get stuck in jail?
oh, I know. That would be
Son of a.
so. But on this now, on another note, now in this town, we have other cases that have. We don't know if they have to do with this, but they are going to be around this. This is episode 1. And in this one, we are going to sit here and try to figure out exactly what this woman in this cult is up to. Because there's a lot of people that have fallen for it. I mean, and when she speaks, it's cultish, like love and light and woo, woo, woo. And she has so many people that follow her, and they're all for this.
Now, Ra is according to what Ra says, he is the commander-in-chief of the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So that's his title.
Yeah, that's what I got. Do they have an online presence where they list, like, I don't want to call their guidelines, but they're about. Do they have a Wikipedia page? I guess is what I'm getting at. I mean, that's simplifying it, but I mean, do they have? I mean, because if we look like John Smith wrote his own Bible, things like that. Oh Lord, I'm going to get added for that. But I'm not trying to compare them to a cult. But I'm saying, have they got their own publications, their own things, their own?
There's a lot on the Galactic Federation of Light and the different commanders and their agendas, and there's quite a few members around the world. So there's quite a few. I believe that this cult wants to draw all the people to Marietta. You know,
Yes.
Possibly my thoughts are 144,000 bodies, so they can be 144,000 walk-ins.
Right.
I think I'll stay here in Georgia.
Yeah, and if you don't donate them, I somehow think that it's a given, like it's taken. There's been a lot of weird things. And yes, Elizabeth, you're right. Raw is not good. So
Right.
when this person or alien or whatever, the walk-in, calls himself Raw, but yet wants to speak of love and light and what have you, we know going by that name that is not what it's about. So what kind of cult is this? Is it a cult to build some kind of a super army? 144,000 bodies to jump into could do an awful lot of damage. So, or is it?
You have children, you have adults, you have, and this child, this 5-year-old child, speaks galactic verbiage. Like she.
So she has.
She's pregnant. She's like,
already
I mean,
speaking her own
she has.
language?
Yeah, and she says that
Yes.
she has a soulmate. She says she has a soulmate. She's married, and the 5-year-old walks
And I
up
believe-
saying she's pregnant.
What?
Yes. So I know that 5-year-old kids make up things. Okay, that's not here nor there. But it's usually mostly things that they watch on TV, stuff like that. This here and the information that the 5-year-old was given is not something that you see on TV.
Well, but is she speaking a language that's, I mean, I'll just call it a foreign tongue at 5. That's kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
She learned it. She learned it from somewhere. She didn't just make it up. Yeah.
right. And she has
very specific.
she has she's got knowledge of stuff that she shouldn't have at 5 years old.
Wow.
So, but so our thing is we want to try to figure out exactly what this cult is up to.
So, in your research, have you found the local authorities? Are they doing anything? Or are they just kind of like, yeah, we leave them alone up there on that hill?
I did speak with some local authorities and just, to find out if they were aware. And they said yes, they were aware of them. Said they hadn't broken any laws, but they were aware of them, and they understood what they are as far as a cult and what's going on. So um, it's pretty vague, as I think, as far as uh, they're not, they're just aware of them.
Now, here's a Twilight scenario. This town is a very small town. There's not much in it at all. Nothing. What, they got a restaurant, a church,
A
few
garage,
houses,
post office, yeah.
just very
It's
little.
it's your typical small town, yeah.
Very minimal. So now, call me nuts for sitting here thinking about, different movies I've seen like this. When you have a situation like this in a small town, everybody's going to be aware of this. So what is to say that local law enforcement, other people, sometimes people like that are protected. Sometimes what's going on is accepted. It can be one of those things where, okay, well, you don't do any damage to our town, and we'll allow you to collect as many people as you need. So,
I noticed the restaurant had food that said "out of this world," or they made alien grade cookies, and
right.
so they do, yeah.
And they also wear shirts. Have you guys ever heard the theory of don't drink the Kool-Aid?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they wear shirts out there that says, I drank the Kool-Aid and I lived.
It was Flavorade. Wasn't even Kool-Aid.
Yeah, if you're walking, you're still alive.
Right. So it's definitely strange enough to ward me from saying I'm not moving out there. That's for sure. I don't need to be walking down the street and all of a sudden end up with somebody else saying, "Hey, Brenda," and I'm looking around like, who are you talking to? So no, that's okay. But it is strange, and there has been a lot of strange things happening around there. Like I said, within all the counties around, there's been over 100 people that have come up missing with no sign, no nothing. There's another person that's missing that shouldn't have been missing, and we don't know if that one's connected, but it sure is around where the 5-year-old and everything else is at in the same vicinity. Then we have just a lot of strange occurrences going on there. And I think,
Yeah, talk about the little girls, but that's,
yes.
I know that's not related, but
we don't
but
know.
that's very close to the vicinity of this place.
Right. Now, there was also a family that lives out there, and there are 3 little girls, 5, 8, and 9. And these 3 little girls, they were with the babysitter. The mom was at work, and they took off for some reason, running through the woods to the neighbor's property. In between both properties, there is a lake.
Hey, Brenda, I'm going to drop off real quick.
Okay, Bobby.
Had a fun night. I'm sorry. I'm just getting really sleepy.
You're fine. Good night.
See ya.
So the people next door, the people that live there, is cousins of the mother of the children. And he's a state trooper. And they ended up finding the girls dead, all 3 of them. And at first they said that they felt it was that they had drowned. For some reason, they waited 8 months to do the autopsy. And come to find out they didn't drown. They had no water in their lungs. And they were strangled to death. So when we first seen the media coverage on it, they had said that the babysitter was a friend of the family's, and it was a blonde woman that they showed. And now they're saying that it was a man. So we're not exactly sure what's going on with them. And Elizabeth, her name is Linda McGillis.
Linda Good McGillis.
Oh, Linda Good McGillis. Yeah. She's got the Facebook. She does a few TikToks about it. So, I mean, she's a strange character.
Yeah, I heard that she was pretty social media active.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's everywhere. From what I heard, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere. So,
and she's not afraid to talk about what's going on, how she did her walk-in. She's informative on it. She, I think what it is she wants to make people believe that, you know, you join her, you're joining their little cult, and you're going to live life happy and free and all that. Like she said, a lot of us, when we pass away, we want to ascend, okay? Be with God. Well, she says there's no fun in living in that. Well, that doesn't sound very nice, love, and light to me. And yes, I seen Elizabeth say it sounds more like that. What was it? The
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate. Yes. Which in a way, possibly, you know, because he talked about they were supposed to come. What was it? They were supposed to come with a ship and come down and get everybody and take them off world.
I think that's correct. Yeah, that was out on the West Coast in California. Is that right?
California.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was.
So, and my thing is I don't know why. Like here in Waco, we have had our share of problems with the cult. So you would think that if somebody knows that somebody else is watching a cult or is starting a cult, that would be your number one focus to keep an eye on everybody in your town. Keep an eye on them because, and people come up missing, I would be kind of there being a little nosy, I think, you know? So yeah, I know Elizabeth, not good. So
when you say they've disappeared, have they disappeared from one particular spot? Like, is it like near a body of water, or are they out in a national park, or do they just go out for a pack of cigarettes and never come back? When you say that?
I believe that I believe that there is a group of serial killers, and they are disappearing people. Like their vehicles will show up, but in one case, there was a guy named Eric who it was back in 2018, and he was a tattoo artist, and he disappeared at 11 at night. They found his truck, and his two dogs were shot inside the truck, and he vanished. Okay. Another one, Bob, they found his truck, his cell phone and his wallet in his truck, and he vanished. Not a trace of them. Okay. And so there's quite a few of these type, and this I believe is the work of serial killers. They're multiply killing more than one person.
Now, and the thing of it is now you got to weigh your option. Are they working with the cult and maybe doing this stuff to bring forth those 144 bodies that they need, 144,000? You know, they could be on their own running around, just whatever. Or they could be in cahoots with this cult because it's such a small community. You know, I mean, it would make sense for them to be with this cult and finding their 144 things. who knows? The serial killers, they also may be walk-ins also. You know, I mean, you never know. It's just such a uncommon thing that's going on right now out there. And it's like nobody can come up with any answers. Nobody can come up with anything with missing. They're not finding bodies. They're not, nothing except for the 3 little girls. So that could have been something separate, or it could have been that whoever came across those little girls might have been looking to be able to walk in also.
It could have been a walk-in in the person that that strangled those little girls. But they found their bodies in the pond and pulled them out. That's why they thought they drowned it. But then they did the autopsy and found out they had been all 3 strangled. They ran away from their house and went through the woods and had scratches on their faces from running. And then they got to the pond. Now their next door neighbor was a relative who was a state trooper. I believe they were running there for safety, leaving because there was a babysitter watching them. And so the babysitter is the last person involved with these children, and they're running away from the house. So it makes me wonder why they were running away from the babysitter
instead of running into the house where the babysitter was. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And running away, and they end up going through the woods to the pond and didn't make it to the relative's home. And they came, and then the babysitter, it wasn't until 11 at night, I guess, that they even called to let anybody know that these children were missing. Right?
What kind of time period was it between the time they were missing and it was reported?
The babysitter didn't say,
Yep.
It wasn't reported anyway. They didn't report on it. I'm sure somebody knows, the mother.
I mean, that time of night, okay, you got a 5, 8, and 9-year-old. If I have a 5, 8, and 9-year-old kid and the sun comes down and they're not back in the house, I'm looking for them.
Well, if the house is quiet with a 5-year-old.
I mean, there's a hint for you.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old? I mean, why would you let a 5-year-old that late at night not be supervised?
Right.
Right.
And if you're the babysitter, you're not keeping up with the children, or yeah.
So this whole cult thing is absolutely strange, and it comes with a lot of strange scenarios in the whole entire town. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't really believe in coincidences. Really, I don't.
There are no coincidences.
No. And it's
everything happens for a reason, and everything is the way it happens. So there's no coincidences.
Right. So I think that this, I guess I can turn around and name this town like kind of like a mixed up Bermuda Triangle. I mean, it's just strange.
Yeah.
We Googled the name Marietta, which was really shocking. The meaning of the name that this cult decided to settle down in. And I don't know if you have it on your wiki there, or if anybody could pull it up, the meaning of Marietta.
We don't have our tech guy that usually pulls things up.
Oh, you got me, though. I can do that.
Okay, go ahead, techie. Get it, techie, get it.
Yeah, I'm still looking for my fonts. There's a Marietta, Georgia. There's a Marietta, Georgia.
I know. I found out there's a Marietta, Ohio, too, because I'm from Ohio. So I was like,
wait till you find out what Marietta stands for.
Yeah, it's really creepy. Really creepy.
Meaning beloved rebellious star of the sea, inspired by the Greek Maria. Marietta is a feminine name with a myriad meanings, each more intriguing than the last, according to the Bump.
Yes.
So Lucifer was a beloved, rebellious star, morning star.
It's a French origin.
Did you just say it was a French origin?
It's a French origin, yeah.
Probably because of the word Marie, right?
Yes, that's the meaning of Marie.
Yes.
But Marietta means a rebellious star. Yeah. And that's the town that they chose to settle down in.
To settle in
Very
for
appropriate.
that cult.
Yeah. Very appropriate.
Right?
Names mean a lot. There's a lot more to that than what people realize.
Yeah.
Because words, you spell words, and words can be spoken, can be good, can be healing, or they can wound a person. So they are spells, whether they're good or evil.
Absolutely.
So words are very important. The meaning of them, the way they're delivered.
Yeah. Now, Elizabeth or anybody else, if you guys have our Gmail, if you find anything else out, we're keeping an eye on this place because there's too much strange going on. And there are missing person sites where they're trying to locate these people that are missing. Because grown people do not just, sometimes they do. Sometimes they just want to walk away from their life and start all over again. You don't know how many times I've said, I'm going to leave my IDs and everything at the house, jump in an RV and start a new life somewhere else. But 100 or over 100 of them, all in around the same areas within short spans of time. This
And
hasn't
a lot
been...
of them are this. A lot of them have very much similarities with each other too. So it's like the same MO, the serial killers. There might be multiple killers,
Right.
but they're using the same methods.
So it's food for thought. It was something different and very strange. And we are still trying to figure out more about, there's more that's coming in for some of the people that have disappeared. There's different stories being told than what was originally told. And these people that are telling them, we're not so sure that they don't have anything to do with this cult because of the fact that some of them are into not so nice things. So it is very, very strange. And when you think of serial killers, people say, well, a cult's not a serial killer. Well, in a way, they are. Because even though, like Heaven's Gate, they drank the Kool-Aid themselves, but they were cohorts into doing so because they were lied to. And I know they might say suicide, but I believe that is what you consider murder by suicide. Anybody else think so?
Yeah,
I sure do.
Some dangerous groups. Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks like I pulled up according to World Population Review, Marietta, Texas population has been declining since 2010. So it's had but it doesn't, I can't find where there's any type of,
I believe they moved there in 2014. So I think a lot of people are kind of moving away from that area.
Yes.
What I've noticed.
Yeah, and this is also saying that, but the average house. So this doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but the average household income is $83,298 with a poverty level of 6.67. So,
Glenn, read Elizabeth's post right now.
LGM conned them out of money. Who's LGM?
I have no idea. Probably some kind of bot thing, I guess. We're going to have to make a post when we're done for everybody on Facebook. We don't charge no money. We don't do anything like that.
No.
So if somebody's saying that they need money, do not give it to them.
No.
That's wow.
If you want to
Thank you,
give to the
Elizabeth.
cause here to get this going, $ Sportcat or $ Sportcat Medic.
Right.
And I think she's talking about this lady, not us. So if you want to support the show,
Oh, she's talking about Linda Good.
Yeah,
I think she means Linda Good McGillis.
Yes.
LGM is for Linda Good McGillis. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How did that happen?
Okay, so they have a 83,000, but less than.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. That's what she's saying.
Less
She
than-
conned them out of money.
Yes.
Okay. I see. I thought she was on Facebook on our show trying to con people out of money. I was
Like
going to
I
say,
said-
that's it. I'm getting in the car. I'm going to Marietta.
$ Sportcat, $ Sportcat Medic if you want to support the podcast. But I'm looking at the thing here, and less than 13%, no, less than 33% graduated from high school, but yet the average income is, what did I say, was 83,000, and it's 73% white. I'm trying to find a median age. 49 and a half, 47 47 to 49 for a male. Average female is 55.
Strange, huh?
Yeah, and it doesn't show any type of commerce or I mean, I guess it could be cattle or something. I don't know. I don't see
Yes.
there, but
I mean, out there, it's like country.
Well, yeah,
people
because the
have cattle and horses, and so I guess that age would be right because they'd be
A lot of people in the area they go to West Texas to work in the oil industry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they
They live here, but they go there to work. Yeah.
I have a friend that
makes
moved
sense.
there
Yeah,
and works there.
because I know a lot of medics that will fly out into the Gulf and work with the oil rigs, and they live in Tennessee. So yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. So 64% of the town is married. So yeah, there's some weird statistics, but I guess you can explain it like anything else.
I mean, I would
over 50% of the population there is a veteran of the Vietnam War. 12.5% is a population of the first Gulf. Combined rest of the citizens, 37.5, are of the second Gulf War. That's an interesting statistic.
Yeah. And, first of all, I can understand why she would be conning people out of money because she gets everybody's money that joins her thing. She gets all of their money. And supposedly they live on the ranch with her. And she gets their money every month. So you figure that if she's got veterans that get their money every month, she's getting all their money. And stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, I really think that if I had anything to do with law enforcement out there, I would definitely be investigating a little bit more because, I mean, that could be one heck of a scam to scam these poor veterans out of their money. It could be, anything. And that can't be happening. Our veterans have a hard enough time as it is.
Yeah.
So
less than 50% of the population of Marietta was born in Marietta. And it's mainly comprised of naturalized citizens, but the workforce is Asian.
Really?
Yeah, that's according to World Population Review, which I've always seen to have pretty decent data. Made some interesting facts when you have so many veterans, the cost of living as opposed to what they make, but yet almost 100% of the labor force is Asian. It's kind of odd. So, and then what does I say? A large portion of the community isn't even born there. So,
yes, Elizabeth, that could be it too. So it's not, and if these people are disappearing, I mean, look, if she's using these people's bodies for walk-ins, I would want to get a 3-letter agency over there to check around a little bit, walk around the farm and the thing and see if anybody pops up. That's supposed to be missing.
It sounds like there's a lot of federal there already.
Right? But unfortunately not the right ones. So this is very concerning. I mean, it is a concerning fact that you can have people, I want to say, taking over a town like that, and people aren't afraid of her. She's talking about them dying and other beings going into their body. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I held this for a long time. When I die, I know I can't take it with me, but it's going somewhere safe because ain't nobody else getting in it acting like me.
Well, I don't believe anybody's
somewhere private.
I don't believe anybody's going to want none of mine because it's about worn out.
I know, right? I'm missing a leg anyways. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Hobble around? So it is just one of those concerning facts. Next week we have...
Well, I believe that there's a whole lot more walk-ins than just Linda Good McGillis. And
right.
I think it may be a bigger thing than what anybody comprehends.
Right.
What year did you say they moved there? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
2014.
In 2014, their violent crime rate was 717. It decreased considerably for the next few years until it spiked again in 2017, and now it's on a steady downhill. In 2019, they only reported 76.8. I don't know who the 0.8, maybe it was a little person, but 76.8 violent crimes.
They probably went
all those disappearing. It's all those disappearing people and murdered children and
And there has been throughout time, throughout years, there every now and then you'll hear somebody say something like that they're a walk-in, and people don't know what that is, so they just kind of whatever, they think they're a weirdo. But when people say something like that and they just pop up and say it, well, it kind of makes you think. Okay, number one, what is walking in? And number two, where did these walk-ins come from? Who are they really?
Yeah.
It's a scary thought. I mean, I just hope they don't come moving, spreading out this way.
Well, she calls herself an alien,
According to the FBI crime statistics, a crime is committed every 20 to 21 days in that town. So that's not bad, but if they're policing their own,
yeah,
from what I've seen, they have a very good county of the people that live here. The police force and stuff are real. They seem to be really good people and really concerned about the community and keeping a good community. Of course, when you have serial killers, running around and you have cults, that's a whole nother,
It's interesting. It's interesting that they point this out in the one of the statistics, as far as talking about violent crime as compared to other cities of equal population. Due to the heavy veteran ranks, it has a lower crime rate than the national average. It says that crime is still a problem in many areas, but the local communities are working to create safer neighborhoods, and the veterans specifically. That's interesting. So, all right, I'll get off of my demographic search. So,
that's kind of what I see. There's a lot of the citizens really are there. It's a good community. Everybody's trying to pull together, to make it a stronger community. So that's why these things need to be figured out. What's going on? Who's killing and all these people? Where are these people? Because That needs to be solved. Those crimes, because a lot of these families, they need closure.
Sure.
And if you have a loved one that's either been killed and you don't know how, you live with that, and it's torturous.
Or missing, and they never show up. You have nobody to bury.
Never know.
You have
and you think they're alive. You don't know if they're dead. You can't. It drives you crazy because you don't know what happened, and you're constantly thinking about it. And they need closure to that. It's important that the family members that love these people have answers.
Yep. Now, next week, we're going to do a little bit more digging into, we've got some strange, unusual killings in Austin. And we're going to check up on that and find out a little bit more. But there are people that are turning up dead all over Austin. And they're all around the same age. And I believe they're all male, right, Suzy?
And they're all ending up on the Colorado River. So it's the MO is the same,
Yes. So we're going to see if anybody has come up with anything new on this, because Austin police is saying that there's not a serial killer. So we don't know if it's opposed to people coming to Austin from other places and doing what they're doing, or it's been going on for a little bit now and they have no answers. So we're going to dig around and see if we can come up with anything else that they have found out and anything that we can find out, and see what's going on there, because that's a little too close to my home.
I don't think people are just dropping dead along the Colorado River randomly.
Right.
Well, in Austin, they're all drownings. Isn't that what they're reporting them as?
No, they're just finding them dead.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking they were saying it was a lake or a body of water and that they were all drowning. But
they
'cause
find them near
pretty
near
much
the
lived
Colorado
there
River.
most of my life, and that never happens. I mean, not like that.
now we have it here in Georgia, Lake. I think it's Oka. I don't know what. It's one of the local lakes here, and more people die in that lake than any other lake in the country. And it's even said that it's cursed. So, and
Elizabeth says that she sounds like she's going, made a good choice of people to go right to their pockets, follow the money. And
I think that is the way it is with most cults or most big groups. It's kind of like what do you call it? A pyramid
like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Ponzi scheme. So
Ponzi scheme.
So
but cults, they live there, so they make sure
they provide they take care of it.
They have a lot of members on Facebook and stuff like that too that are contributing to her that don't live there.
What a lot of people don't realize, and our government is good at doing this too. When you come into our country, whether you come in illegally or legally, and the government is going to move you around, they segregate you by your religion or by your culture, by your, I don't want to say the color of your skin, but they group you, and then they move you to places. And there's places in like Atlanta where I can't go because it's a high Russian community, or it's a high European Baltic, but I'm saying it wrong, but you don't go in there. They take care of their own community, and they may not necessarily be a cult per se, but they are doing the same thing. They're taking care of their own. So in fact, they're in New York City. One of the largest ambulance services next to FDNY is run by one of those communities, and they will go outside and serve the other communities, but they come right back in. They don't want anything to do with the outside. That's in the downtown inner workings of New York City, and I've been on those ambulances. It's very strange, but so we're always good about putting people in boxes and people in places, but
Well, I mean, they take care of their own community, but they all work and have families, and they hold jobs. They don't just fork everything over to one person.
No, you were wrong. They do.
Oh, they
do. They have one leader. Yeah. For instance, one community in Atlanta, you don't call 911. You call Bob, and you go to Bob,
Bob.
and I don't know, I'm just making up a name. And you go to him, and then he determines if we need to come in. And that's what happened in New York City. They formed their own police, they formed their own fire, they formed their own EMS. They tried to handle it all before it got outside of their community, and everything goes straight back to the group leader, whomever that may be. And that's there in almost every large American city. There is some nationality that is doing that.
Wow, that's interesting.
The statistics with that it gets me is that it says almost 100% of the workforce, which means people working outside of the home, was Asian, but almost 100% of the population was U.S. military veterans. So just kind of put those two and two things there together. So.
Yeah. Well, I don't watch a lot of news. Matter of fact, I haven't watched news in God knows how long. So most of the time, when I get stuff, it's either something I see on an alternate news, ones I can trust. So, I join groups because of the information that groups hold. So I have quite a few of the missing person groups and, different groups like that where I get a lot of information. So Suzy, now I'm going to tell you what, she's like one little gopher in 120 acres of property and a bunch of holes, and she jumps down them all. She's great. Sometimes she digs up some stuff and I'm going, whoo. Wow. But yeah.
To comment on what Elizabeth said there about not wanting to drive the tourists away, talking about being a lot of murders in Manhattan. When I worked in EMS in the 80s and early 90s in Knoxville, Tennessee, there were no gangs. Now, I'm here to tell you I ran gang shootings every night, but the news and the government said there were no gangs. There are no gangs.
Yep.
So she's absolutely right. They don't want to drive the tourists away. And so, yeah.
And I mean, in a way I can understand that, because what pays the police salary? What pays the mayor's salary? It's usually the money they make when people live there. And a lot of them make more money off of tourist attractions. So I can understand not wanting to chase all your tourists away, but at the same time, you need to keep your tourists safe if you're not going to say that you need to watch out over here. I mean, anybody who goes to LA, you know what streets to walk down, and you don't ever tour in Compton. Okay. So they should be the same, because they're putting their tourists at risk by not informing them that there are certain things that happen and they have certain things they have to watch out for.
True.
I think a lot of it has to do with real estate. I think if we came out of Bastrop, Texas, which is just 27 miles out of Austin, and there's murders constantly, like shootings, murders, just on and on and on and on. And they don't even report most of them because why would Elon Musk just move there? Okay. And he's setting up the, but if you were wanting to move to a city, and Bastrop's a little town. I mean, and there's a murder every, maybe a couple every week in this little town. I mean, it's that bad.
That's another strange little town, though. I really got to say, that's a strange little town.
Do you want to go buy real estate in a town where people are getting killed all the time down there? I mean, you think twice about it,
Yeah.
Move to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, but Atlanta's big. Now, you do murders all the time in a small town, and you move there, your chances of something happening to you is real
it should
big.
Be decreased. It should be decreased rather than increased. I get you. So
right. So
all right. So if anybody can find their manifesto, that'd be really cool. I'd like to know the manifesto of this Linda McGillis, because I'm sure somewhere there's got to be a published manifesto. I'd like to read it just out of curiosity.
Well, now I will tell you this. I didn't want to tell Suzy because I know how she feels about it.
Uh-oh. My screen. There's something wrong with my screen.
Shoot it from the hip. Shoot from the hip.
I did honestly think about contacting this person using a different name, of course, and asking questions about, her ranch and how things work and what she expects and, all the normal things.
Well, you could. There's been plenty of journalists that have gone in there and interviewed her, and they said this one guy went in and interviewed, and he said that she has a dog and she makes the dog bite people, and she does it on purpose, and it helps teach them lessons or something. And he thought that was really strange. Why they encourage this dog to bite the members?
See, I'm sorry. That dog would be in trouble because it would be punt kicker. I'd run it over in my wheelchair.
So is it to teach the dog or the people a lesson? I mean, good.
The people.
Okay.
The people.
Glenn, yeah. You would have a problem with that, with a woman who wants their dog to bite people, right?
And she don't like humans. Did you hear her? She said one of her biggest darkness is humans.
Well, we're squishy and have emotions. Yeah.
Now, see, I would not be surprised. Matter of fact, because she is so proud of what she does and explaining how it works, she would probably agree to come on the show as a guest. Now,
she'd probably want the dog to bite Glenn as part of initiation.
Yeah.
Well, she lives here. He's in Georgia.
Glenn, Glenn, you got bit by that dog and it caused you a lot of trauma.
Yeah. Tell her you've already been there and done that, so you don't need to do it no more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, unless she's going to write a big check. So yeah. No.
Well, there you go.
I don't want to go through
money she gets from everybody else. We can have her bite Andy. That ought to make him move around a little bit. Do you hear me? We can have him bite Andy. That'll make him move around a little bit.
Sacrifice Andy. I went through 3 surgeries for this. I'm good.
Andy, move around. Are you awake? Are you asleep?
All right, ladies. So next week we're going to talk about the Austin cases.
Yes.
And
cases.
Go from there. And
then after that, we'll get into doing some old cases that we like to talk about and things that, they've done a lot of times. Like, I don't know why, but clowns and John Wayne Gacy has been popping into my head lately like crazy. So I'm going to have to sit down and do some things and figure some stuff out because we may end up doing a segment on him. Because
I have a thought when you said that. I'll have to tell you later.
That's an interesting little character right there.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But for the last couple of days, and then tonight when we started talking about clowns with Bobby, I thought again, well, there that is again. So maybe I'm supposed to look into something with him because he's a strange little person.
Yeah, Bobby is. So.
And I really want to do some stuff to see what's that was
watching Gacy. I guess they're saying Gacy.
Gacy last night. Oh yeah.
You were watching. What she was watching
about him last night.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, she was watching him last night. See, there's something floating around going on.
There's a Netflix show about that now, right? Isn't it a Netflix show right now that's out or something trending? I don't know. I might have heard about it. So
yeah, but yeah, I've been doing an awful lot of wavelengths in on Gacy for some reason. So I'm gonna spend this week and look around and see if maybe there's some stuff that I could find that nobody really knows about him or was never put out there. I'd like to turn around and try to find some serial killers that are actually still alive and in jail. So I know we missed our chance with what's his face? Oh my goodness. I know his name. Out there in California.
Charlie?
Yes, Charles Manson. We missed our chance with him. So, but
you want to go in and interview them? Is that what you're saying?
Ooh, that would be awesome if they're close enough. I could. Actually, we do have one that's in Gatesville in the female prison. And that is the woman who killed Selena.
Oh, that was a sad movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that would be pretty awesome. And I know guards that work in Gatesville. I might be able to get a pass to go have a conversation.
Wow.
That would be interesting.
Take a digital recorder. We'll upload it to the show.
Right. So I don't know. We're going to start digging into more stuff as these shows go along because it's not like we can run out of people that kill people because it seems to be a fad thing and has been around for hundreds of years.
Well, one thing I brought up earlier, or not earlier, but last week was there's all kinds of serial crimes. So you'll never run out of a topic on this. So
I heard one that was stupid earlier. What is it that how the people that are going in and stealing stuff and they're getting away with it. I think I heard that somewhere about they're going to put a kiosk in there, move all the stuff that they steal closer to the front of the store. And in this kiosk, they're going to have a thing that plays that helps them to be able to stop what they're doing, to help their serial crimes that they're committing from stealing all the time.
Maybe they could incorporate some aromatherapy with that too. So
yeah.
At Sportcat, if you want to harass me. So. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
I'm thinking
just stand out there and have the doobie man standing there handing out edibles as they walk in the door.
No, aromatherapy. Put some sage or peppermint or something in the air form as they're stealing from you. So that's what I was talking about.
In this kiosk, they're supposed to be telling these people, what they can do to enrich in their lives without doing what they're doing. How this one guy, he was there 30 days. He's a multimillionaire, owns several businesses. For 30 days on this kiosk, he said, I went on the streets. I had no money, no phone, no contacts, no nothing. And in 30 days, he made another $1.5 million business. And my thought was, okay, so you have a talent that most of us don't possess. But that's what's supposed to be on these kiosks. Did he go on Shark Tank? So. I know, right? He would be a good candidate.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right. Well, Elizabeth was saying that there were people making snuff films, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And Linda Good, Killerz, her husband was doing the child pornography. That's where they're making money, exploiting children.
Well, he should never get out of jail then. I mean,
he's supposed to be getting out, from what I understand.
He should never, but that's my opinion.
I agree. I totally agree. I think that in my opinion, I think anybody that has anything to do with doing that or harming a child, period, should never get out of jail. And honestly, they probably should be given something worse than that, because personally, I don't think the rest of the taxpayers should have to pay for them to feed them, house them, let them have a TV and live the rest of their lives. So
3 hots in a cot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to just continue with what they did when they were out, and there's more victims, more children.
Maybe we should create a new workforce. We want to fly to Mars. Maybe we should make them be the passengers on a drone going to Mars, and we'll see who makes it.
Yeah. That way they can save monkeys.
Now that would be a reality show. Put a bunch of serial killers on a spaceship and shoot them to Mars. See if they live and which one survives when they get there.
kind of like one of the what is it? The reality shows. We can make it a reality show.
Yeah, exactly.
On Mars, naked and trying to survive.
I've got this all up here. So
on Mars, naked and trying to survive. There you go.
Oh, Ooh, that got to be a harsh terrain to survive on neck attack. Because
I don't know.
what's the hottest during the day? It's like 1800 or something, and at night it's like 1200 below or so. It's
Well,
like
that's what they say.
astronomical.
I don't believe what they say. You don't even want my opinion.
Well, see, now we're going to venture here. I have a serious scientific question here. We went to Mars for the first time with this rover, correct? Is that correct?
That's what they said, yeah.
That's what they say, right? All right. So we're going with what we're being told. But yet, the hardest aircraft to fly, we knew how to fly it in that atmosphere. Think about that. A helicopter is the hardest aircraft to fly and maneuver because of all the different up force, down force shifts, and not to mention the controls are just bunkers on it.
Well,
and it's hard enough here, but we're sending it somewhere where we don't even know what it is, and it sails like a butter knife through.
Now, and I'll tell you another thing, like Linda said about the moon. Jack is a very intelligent person. He reads.
Your manslave?
No, yeah.
Okay.
But now he has brought up a lot of good points with that moon up there. Number one, it never moves. It's always got the same angle.
I think there's a whole bunch of different moons. I don't think it's just one out there.
Well, there is, but I think one of the major ones that we stare at, I think it is like, I don't think it's alien. I think it's ours. And I think it is a space in my opinion, I think it's.
So what you're saying is it's the Death Star.
It would depend on which moon you're talking about.
Star.
That's great. That's great. I don't know who this Maxwell person is.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Ghislaine Maxwell, yeah.
That's the Epstein and Ghislaine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not up on my hard crime stuff. So
Helicopter. Why, Elizabeth, did she say the Earth was flat? Oh, let's go into another realm here.
Oh, no.
Did
no, she
Elaine
did. No. She didn't say that. No, but no, I don't. I just threw that out there. We were talking, so
she's just saying Ghislaine Maxwell. She was the daughter of a very prominent Israeli person, and then she was with the Epstein and my friend William Steele. He wrote a book about his affair with Ghislaine, and and how Epstein showed him all the photographs with Andrew and everybody with the little children, and he's
yeah.
He's another serial killer. Well, I don't know if he was a killer, but serial criminal.
Well, he sure does know a lot of them, but we won't mention their names.
In the book, he talks about how Ghislaine wanted to hire William to kill Epstein.
Yeah,
because he was blackmailing. He was like blackmailing a lot of people with the evidence that he had.
Right.
And he didn't like to be blackmailed.
Yeah, because he wrote a book about that. So, yeah, it's
anybody wants to get that. It's a book William Steele wrote about Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
So, and he gives out a lot of detail because he was a big time jewelry thief, and that's how he met them in Florida. And then he served 18 years and got out, and he got on that inmate to roommate show, and he became a Christian, and now he's doing podcasts and writing books and stuff about it.
Yeah.
Well,
interesting.
You all are doing your serial killers, serial crime thing. I will devour into my realm of comic books and find out which comic book characters are based on serial criminals, because I already have a sneaking suspicion I know of one.
Ooh.
So,
yeah.
True story.
Comic book serial killers. That's the way to go.
Well, I don't know that they were the serial killer, but I have a feeling that the artist loosely based some interpretations of them. So I'm going to get on that.
The only problem with that, Elizabeth, right now, I could tell you some things, but we stream on YouTube. We're not allowed to talk about that.
Right now, we're streaming on Trovo, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. I'm missing somebody, ain't I? Twitter, yeah. When we're somewhere else. Twitch, did I say Twitch?
Now, I will let you know that when I move, I am going to start a different show, and I'm going to do
She's
that one.
dumping me.
I'm not leaving you.
Mhm.
Shut up.
This is
gonna
going to be a
start
bitter
that.
divorce.
I'm going to start
I'm gonna cry.
divorce. I'm going to start another podcast a day or two a week with Suzy on Rumble, where we will be allowed to say what we want to say when we want to say it.
You're gonna let me come over there and have a comic book show once a week on Rumble so I can rumble with some people? How about that?
Yeah, come on and rumble.
Come on and rumble.
Come rumble away. You need to hear that stuff anyways, because you are not all the way there, Mister.
So
I can believe
are you saying
I have
I'm
a
dunce? Is that
hard
what you're
time
saying?
believing this.
Are you saying I'm dunce? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying that you're not.
Okay.
You're not all the way awake.
It does.
I'm
remember?
like an onion. There's lots of layers to me.
You
Do you remember in school when the teacher used to put you in the corner and make you wear the dunce cap? Yeah.
I never got done that, but I did get paddled.
You walk around in the dark with one little nightlight and you keep smacking your toes on the furniture. So Brenda needs to get you a pair of slipper lights so you can see a little bit.
Slipper lights?
Slipper lights.
Yeah, I prefer a headlight. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm like an onion. You just never know with me. I know things that people don't know I know. So sometimes I just play dunce.
We're gonna peel you alive, buddy. Talent.
No, Glenn has a lot of good stories about, when he had people in the ambulance and really interesting stories, I think.
Oh yeah.
I had a confession of a killer one day on my ambulance cot. It's a true story.
Really?
Yes, very true story. I didn't want to hear it. I told him I didn't want to hear it. I kept telling him to shut up, but he wouldn't stop talking. So
shut up! I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be a witness.
Like he
realized he was a priest, and he was trying to make sure he didn't go to hell.
Do you realize how much paperwork you are causing me right now? Please shut up.
Where's Shelton? He's our witness.
Yeah, that's a TikTok video.
I think JT woke up and knocked him upside the head.
I think that should have been set up earlier. I think
so he confessed to killing. Who did he confess to killing?
So I picked a individual up on the streets of Knoxville. He was actually on the steps of a building and said he'd fallen down the steps. And it was early Sunday morning. We got there, and so I get there and I assess the guy, and I'm like, yeah, okay, he may have had one or two to drink, whatever. So we go ahead and take all the precautions to make sure he hadn't broken his neck or anything, and put him on this, the hard thing, and check him all out. And I've got his IVs and everything's intact. He's got good vitals. And we're going to the hospital, and he says to me, well, where's my buddy? Well, you were the only one on the stairs there, partner. He says, no, that's not what I mean. He said, did they find him? You got me. You got me. I don't know. I'll play this game. And he says, yeah. He says, they might want to look under the Gay Street Bridge. Okay, now I'm just kind of curious as to what he's talking about. I didn't really want to step into that legal world where I could be subpoenaed. And I said, he says, yeah, we were fighting last night and I threw him over the bridge. I didn't know if he died or not. And I was like, wait a minute, say what? Wait a minute, hold on. What'd you just say? So I get on the radio and say, dispatch, could you do me a favor? Could you have PD check under the Gay Street Bridge and see if there might be like anybody laying down there that might need an ambulance or a hearse? And I fully anticipated, I said that over the radio. I fully anticipated to come back that, nothing found, man on the corner. Yeah, no. They dispatched the technical rescue team, the dive team, fire department, goddamn helicopter. Holy sweet Jesus, there was a body on the rocks at the bottom of the Gay Street Bridge. The guy's like, yeah, that's Ted. We were fighting last night, and I threw that son of a bitch over the bridge. And then he wouldn't shut up. And I'm like, shut up. Jesus Christ. I'm on the radio making fun of this because I figured it's a bunch of
that guy? I mean, was that true serum or something you shut him up with, or what?
You should have just gave him morphine and knocked him out.
Sober up serum, I guess. I just want to know if I killed some bitch. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And I've been I've been on other crime scenes where they're still fighting. You know, I pull up on one house in South Atlanta, and PD's running around like they don't know what the hell's going on. And out walks this guy. I said guy, he was probably a teenager, pretty young, and he's got a damn steak knife sticking out of his spinal column, going do-doing, do-doing, do-doing with each step. And I'm like, stop right there. And the cop looks at me like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not Barney Fife. That son of a bitch has a knife in his back. And it turned out that him and his brother were arguing over who got the biggest piece of meat at the dinner table. His own brother knifed him at the dinner table.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, yeah, I got plenty of them.
Over food. Really?
Over food. Well, I mean, in reality, we're all just animals.
Well,
So,
I gotta honestly say I can't say that I haven't seen this.
I don't think he came out too good on that argument, you know.
Yeah.
Worst, I get him to the hospital, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, dude's going to be crippling all this. And I'm like laying him face down and I'm doing my best upside down IVs and stuff. Get to the hospital. And they're like, he's just got a knife in his spine. And I'm like, no, look at it. They didn't seem to care. And I'm like, I was kind of concerned about this fellow with a knife sticking out of the center of his spine. But they're like, he'll be all right. He'll walk it off.
Right. Goodness me. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
People just do stupid things. I mean,
yeah. So yeah, I've been on my fair share of shootings and stabbings and murderings. So yeah, I can tell you a few stories. So yeah,
Right.
I left one shot guy to go to another shot guy, and my quote was, because I wanted to beat the other crew there to get to the better call, that I told the guy he wasn't shot enough. So.
oh. God.
She's just grazed, buddy. Somebody will be here in a few minutes. I got to go.
Andy.
Somebody else has got more bullets than you do.
Andy. What do you think of that walk-in lady? You didn't say anything.
Maybe Andy's a walk-in.
Maybe Andy's what?
No, Andy would be a wheel-in just like me, not a walk-in.
A wheel-in.
That's right. We don't stand by, we sit by.
Yeah.
Sit down.
What'd you think of her? Him. It.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, this is what I think. Or well, okay, this is what I can honestly say.
Oh Lord,
If
let me mark
she
this timestamp. This is going to be a TikTok moment.
Oh, if
0044.
if she is just somebody that
Yeah,
is-
it's at 11. It's at 1:44 the time. Okay.
Oh,
11.
if it is somebody that is just scamming people for money and running a cult and trying to steal things, then she did her homework. Okay, on certain things, she did her homework. And I gotta say, she's pretty damn smart if she didn't end up in a straitjacket when the police talked to her.
Exactly.
So, you know, if she is not one of the walk-ins, well, then she better be careful, because a walk-in may notice her and say, look at here, woman, quit soloing our name. And she did her homework and she's pretty conniving, but people really need to not be giving that woman no money, because she's insane. If that's the case, she shouldn't be needing money. If I'm
There are
from-
better causes to give to. Okay, people.
yeah, if I'm a galactic commander and I'm that special, by God, I should be able to manifest anything I want and not have to worry about taking people's
Wait a
money.
minute. Hold on. We might actually be onto something here. It just hit me.
But
We've had a Space Force operating for a long time that we never technically knew about. That whole
Yeah.
town is populated with veterans. I don't know.
that's not
Wouldn't
it.
you
That Space
agree?
Force is something different. I will tell you about one day.
Hey,
Off.
maybe she went to Mars and she came back a little bit different, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Did
That
she
can
actually
explain why
it
they
to
make so much
Mars?
money.
Well, usually these people channel these spirits, and so that's what they call channeling, and they'll allow them to enter in and start speaking. So they give them permission.
Now, what worries me about that, oh, don't tell me that. Because now whenever somebody, and I'm laying here and somebody peeps up on me and wants to talk, I'm going to be leery. Where are you from?
She's going to fall out of her chair again.
I'm going to sit here and interrogate a spirit to make sure that I'm not giving these people permission to come anywhere in me at all.
She's going to fall out of her chair and say, have at it.
No, I would not. I told you. I may not be able to take it with me, but by God, look at here.
Now that's funny what Elizabeth says. Did you read that?
What'd you say? I didn't see it. What'd she say?
She says
she's not a walk-in. She's a con artist. No walk-in would want to walk into that body.
Then again, you don't know, Elizabeth. What is suspicious?
well, I
But
mean,
that's good.
I'm suspicious to be a kid and some old lady. But no, I won't take
Hey,
it.
if you're a walk-in and you're desperate,
right here
You're
with
desperate.
my mother. That's where I'm gonna end up.
Hmm.
Gosh, for missing a leg, this woman is heavy.
you know that saying, desperate people do desperate things? Well, that would be raw.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
that's true. She could just be a con artist. That's true.
But she could be a walk-in, and like I said, she needs to
Well,
chill out. I'm gonna have to go in and see if she'll. I'm gonna have to send her a friend's request because you can only search so much on her Facebook. Don't anybody worry. I have my.
I'm gonna say she's a walk-in.
What?
You know, I'm gonna say she's definitely a walk-in. I've met a few of them, and she fits pretty well as a walk-in. But it's not to say they're not con artists.
See what Elizabeth just wrote.
Elizabeth is on a roll tonight.
Well, a walk-in could be a con artist too, I guess, because they con the person out of the body. So
She said it's like going to a used car lot.
yeah, they got a jalopy with that one. She is correct. So
Yeah.
Well, it's like it's like you sell your soul to the devil, you make a deal. Well, usually walk-ins make deals with the person. Now that little girl said that the girl that she was died and went to heaven, and it may have been a promise. You want to go to heaven, or of course, walk-ins always lie to get what they want. But
Well, I believe that a 3-year-old would go to heaven anyways. I mean, that wouldn't be a issue. I do not think.
what are you going to say at 3? I mean, like you even know what it's like.
Sure, come on,
Yeah.
take me. Hook me
yeah,
up.
I'm with you on that one. You don't really know what the definition is. Now, is the 5-year-old you talked about? Is there any video or anything of her speaking that other language? I mean, not that we would.
I spoke with her extensively a little bit, and I'm going to speak with her again.
Oh, so you've actually spoke to the 5-year-old?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood that part. I thought it was something you'd seen on YouTube or something.
No.
No, I know her.
No, and she can't. She's 5. She can't get on YouTube and do that. So
she's already mastered another language at 5. How? I mean,
her grandma and I spoke extensively about it. Her grandma was very freaked out about it.
I can imagine so.
Yeah. When the kid goes to her grandma and says something like that, she has no idea what she's talking about.
Have they sent her? And this is probably a stupid question, but to a linguistic, is that right? Because there's certain people that can take and determine if that's an actual language, even if you don't know what it is. There's certain parts of the speech that make up a pattern that will be a language.
Not a galactic language. I would think that they wouldn't even know what that is.
Well, but even though you would still have some.
What I'm saying is the little girl understands what the Galactic Federation of Light is, and she knows their verbiage. She knows about them. She knows how, she speaks like she's been in the cult her whole life.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I'm just trying to make sure it's not like, I don't want to say baby talk because that's not the right word, but, just gibberish that is actual a language of some
would,
sort. So
I mean, if I was her family member, I would actually take her. Well, of course, the good thing about it is she has Suzy who told her how to talk to her.
sure.
But I mean, if I didn't have that now, see, and my 5-year-old did that, the first thing I would be doing would be taking her to a psychologist to sit and talk to somebody about this whole thing.
I'm sure they probably have done that too.
So,
But if
No.
she's smarter than the psychologist, where do you go
Well,
from
yeah.
there with a 5-year-old?
I'm just not sure. I'm not sure that the entity that's living in there is completely took over the little girl, or if the little girl's still
Right.
in there. I'm not sure yet. So,
yeah, we are
Interesting.
definitely that's definitely going to be
Interesting.
found out. So,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Kinda
I'm just
weird.
curious about the linguistics of it. So,
Kind of weird. And
all right, ladies. Well, I've kept you here 47 minutes longer than I think you wanted to be. So, I think.
oh,
I
we're all
don't-
good.
I'm trying to push
Mm.
Andy out his back door.
I think it's
Doesn't
it's
seem
a
to be
window.
working.
I think it's a window behind him. So
Oh,
he's catatonic
Is that-
because the Orioles won.
Melinda, Elizabeth is being so funny tonight, right? She's like
She's
talking
actually
about.
she's really great in the chat. She usually is.
I
She's
know.
hilarious. Look at her. We're talking about Lynn
we need, to,
McGillis.
we need to talk her into putting on her mask and coming on the show.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I am going to be kind of a little jealous here. She didn't comment once during my show.
Oh,
so
that's
I don't
true.
know.
That's
Maybe-
true, Elizabeth.
Maybe
That's
she don't
very
like
true.
me anymore, so I don't know. So
Oh, geez. Here he goes again, running around like he's got a flat tire.
hopefully next week I'll find us some type of music or something. So but-
Yeah, we gotta work on that. Like I said, I found one on that thing that you sent me, but I couldn't figure out how to save this stupid thing.
Well, you're good at deleting things, so you should have been able to figure that out. So
Yeah, Suzy,
Oh, and
he
then-
got,
and I
he
gotta-
got on there. He got
Huh?
on there. He got on there today, and apparently, just those 2 buttons when everything was going wacko, I deleted a lot of stuff. So I will not push buttons anymore.
and then and my request back from
You learned which buttons do what, right?
the company that I got that this is streamed through sent me the technical support thing back and said that they would answer my question as soon as they could about me receiving tips. I have no idea what in the hell they're talking about. So
I don't know. The company
I don't
we're
even
streaming
know.
through, it got paid for a year, and they keep having him down as free and running out of time. And
I'm
it's like,
surprised I haven't been kicked off because I should be over it by now for sure. So yeah, we
well,
should be
maybe
4 hours over.
maybe it's fixed, but it's saying it isn't. Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows?
It's when a company merges, things happen. So
I have no clue.
it's just fun.
Anyways, it's been a good chit chat, y'all.
It has.
It has.
As always.
And Elizabeth, it was nice seeing you again.
Hopefully we can get some answers and solve some
Yeah.
unanswered
Figure-
questions.
Some
Figure
riddle.
out that stuff a little bit. It's just really weird. Yeah. I think I'm going to friend that woman and see what I can get out of her, and
Hey,
I'll just be careful.
I'm sure she'll be more than glad to tell you.
Yeah, she seems to be that way, that she does not have a problem expressing who she is and what she is. And
$20, she'll tell you anything.
yeah.
She said
I'll-
90% of the people say she's a demon, so
Well, I would think that too, honestly, because she doesn't refer to
Yeah.
people as human beings. She refers to them as vessels.
We're warm and
So-
squishy. We're
Thank
objects.
you, Elizabeth.
Objects.
Objects.
yeah.
We're objects.
I
Yeah,
hate to be
that's a man
described
in
that
there.
way, but
Okay, I'm convinced now. It's a
I
man.
hate to be described that way by women. All right, ladies. You all have a wonderful evening. Do you want to hear Got Beer one more time, or you just want to go bye-bye? It doesn't matter to me. All right?
Oh,
That's
put us all backstage.
Put you all backstage. All right. Well, I'm going to hide these beautiful young women.
Bye, everybody.
And I'm gonna hide these beautiful young ladies and Andy. Andy, we're gonna have to get you your sandbag in here. I mean, I'm gonna hide you too. So. But y'all appreciate the love and support as always. Make sure to like, follow, share, tweet, and there's some TikTok videos out. I heard about a little ventriloquist and a little fella running around town. So make sure to find those on my TikTok. So until next week we've got some new and exciting guests on my show, and we also will have a show coming up Saturday. So make sure to stay tuned and look for it. And we will see you next week. Thanks for everything. We appreciate your support and your love.
We like to party every day of every year. Since I was 15 and still wet behind the ears. 'Cause ever since then I've been hooked on the taste of beer. Well, we think we're really cool 'cause we're sitting by the pool with girls all around. Whoa, look what we just found. It's really, really cold, this last feeling taste, but we got beer. Was a girl from Spain.